Our consciousness is like a flowing river, carrying memories, experiences, and the essence of the soul from one life to the next. If the mind does not simply vanish at the moment of death, where does it go? The spontaneous recollections of young children may provide the missing pieces to this ancient and profound puzzle. On October 11, 2002, in Lafayette, Louisiana, Bruce Leininger was clearing debris from his yard in the wake of Hurricane Lily. During a brief rest, he sat with his 4-year-old son, James, and pulled him onto his lap. Bruce gave his son a warm squeeze and said, "You're such a good son." James looked up at his father and replied with startling clarity, "That's why I picked you. I knew you guys would be good parents." While it initially sounded like typical childhood imagination, the ensuing conversation left Bruce stunned. "Where did you find us?" he asked tentatively. "A big pink hotel in Hawaii," James answered without hesitation. "And what were we doing when you found us?" Bruce followed up. "You were having dinner on the beach at night," James said firmly. Bruce and his wife Andrea were floored. In late May 1997, they had celebrated their 5th wedding anniversary at the Royal Hawaiian Hotel in Honolulu, legendary coral pink luxury resort. They had, in fact, enjoyed a romantic dinner on the beach. This private memory occurred 4 or 5 weeks before Andrea even became pregnant. James had never been told these details. It was a moment they had kept entirely to themselves. This dialogue was later documented in Bruce's award-winning article, "Consciousness Survives Physical Death," submitted to the Bigelow Institute for Consciousness Studies. But James's memories reached even further back, pointing toward a harrowing past life. From birth, James exhibited an unusual obsession with airplanes. By the age of 2, however, fascination turned to terror as he began suffering from vivid nightmares of a plane crash. In his dreams, he was an American pilot being shot down by the Japanese. The details James provided were chillingly specific. He identified his aircraft carrier as the Natoma Bay, named a fellow pilot, Jack Larson, and described the crash site and technical maneuvers with expert precision. These facts were later verified to align perfectly with the life of James McCready. Houston Jr., 1923 to 1945, a World War II pilot. Young James even knew the private nickname Houston had used for his sister, a name only her late brother could have known. Dr. Jim Tucker, a psychiatrist at the University of Virginia, analyzed the case in his 2016 paper. He concluded, the most obvious explanation for this link is that he had a life as James Houston before his current one. The facts of this case deserve serious consideration. The study of past life memories has moved from the realm of religious belief into the halls of rigorous science. Dr. Ian Stevenson, 1918 to 2007, former chair of the Department of Psychiatry and Neurology at the University of Virginia, was the pioneer of this field. Over 3 decades, he systematically documented more than 2,500 cases worldwide. In Stevenson's research, approximately 67% of cases were labeled solved, meaning researchers identified a deceased person whose life and death details perfectly matched the child's memories. Stevenson focused on children because they lack the motive to fabricate complex lies and have limited exposure to the obscure historical information required to mimic a stranger's life. In 1926, a girl named Shanti Devi was born in Delhi. At age 3, she began recalling her life as a woman named Lugdi, and insisted on visiting her former husband in Mutur over 160 kilometers away. When a 9-year-old Devi finally met the husband, Kedarnath, she recognized him and his relatives instantly, recounting countless intimate details of their life together. The case caught the attention of Mahatma Gandhi, who appointed a 15-member committee of lawyers and political leaders to investigate. The committee confirmed that Devi unerringly identified her former home and even pointed to a corner where she had hidden money. Nath eventually admitted he had found and taken that money after his wife's death. The committee concluded that Devi was indeed the reincarnation of Lugdi. Stevenson noted that these cases typically emerge between the ages of 2 and 4, with accuracy rates reaching 90%. Children often speak of things they could not possibly know, such as 3-year-old Megan describing a past life relative dying of consumption, a 19th century term for tuberculosis. Even more striking are the physical correlations. In a study of 895 children, Stevenson found that 35% had unusual birthmarks or defects corresponding to wounds on the deceased person. In one Turkish case, a boy born with a malformed right ear remembered being shot in the head. Hospital records of the deceased man he identified confirmed this cause of death. Similarly, a boy named Chad was born with a scar on his neck, in the exact spot where his late brother, James, had received an intravenous line earlier. The continuity of consciousness offers more than just philosophical intrigue. It has practical therapeutic value. Dr. Jason Liu, a holistic health physician, has seen patients with chronic conditions like fibromyalgia recover after remembering past life traumas through regression therapy. By separating the past emotional shadow from the current reality, the body often finds the strength to heal. Similarly, Carol Bowman's son found relief from chronic eczema and a phobia of loud noises only after recounting a past life where he was a soldier killed by a cannon blast. Just as a river carries nutrients and life to its destination, consciousness acts as a flowing current, transporting the essence of the soul from one vessel to another. The work of scholars like Stevenson, Tucker, and Brian Weiss suggests that our minds may transcend the physical limits of the brain. If memory can cross generations, we must re-examine our understanding of existence. In this vast, flowing river, where does our consciousness originate, and where will it finally go? Science continues to peel back the layers, exploring an origin that is as deep as it is eternal.